Okay, so y'all remembered my expectations, right? What do I have you guys do when we start getting a little too loud? What do I have you do? Logan.
Quiet coyote.
Quiet coyote. Okay, so let's do a little example fun run really quick, okay? So get loud, start talking. Yeah. One more time. One more time. Get loud. Okay, good. All right, so we kind of got it. Good. All right, so we're going to reread. Y'all listen. Okay. We're going to reread our passage, How to Trick Your Sister. Okay, we read this yesterday for those of you who weren't here. And all we did was our pre-assessment, which is just where I can see where we're at. Now, it seemed like a lot of us had trouble. We got inferences down, but we just didn't get the textual evidence down. Okay, so let's quickly go over that before we start. So, I'm going to draw a number. You have your popsicle stick, so make sure you pay attention to your number, okay? I'm going to draw a number. Whatever number I draw, you're going to answer my question. Number 7. Who is number 7? Kenley. So, my question for you is, what is an inference?
Making a guess on something.
Yeah, kind of like making a guess about something you read. Does anyone else have anything to add? Let me draw 25. Who is 25? Brody. Or not Brody. Noah. I'm sorry.
I have 15.
Oh, you have 15? You want to go ahead and answer?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm making a guess based on text evidence.
Making a guess based on textual evidence. That is correct. So, let's see. Let me find a marker. So, an inference by the Google definition is this. Okay. Please work. Okay, good. An inference. This is an act or process of reaching a conclusion about something from known facts, okay? Okay, so this is what I want us to really be thinking about this entire time. Okay? This is what I want you to have in the back of your minds as we read. What inferences can you make based on what you read in the text? Now, with inferences, and we just read that you have to make them based off of known facts. What's another way I could say known facts? Yes. Yes.
Like, you already know, something.
Context, right? Yeah, context clues. All right? So, would you say textual evidence is the same as known facts? Would you say that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Because when I hear evidence, that tells me it's proof, right? It's proof that something's there. Isn't a known fact also proof? Because it's right there? I would say so. So when I say find textual evidence in the passage, what I mean is I want you to go back in the passage and show me where it says something along the lines of what you just inferred about something. So let's say in the passage we said Rick was very, very messy, right? Well, where in the passage would you tell me that Rick was messy? What I want you to do is go back and try to find characteristics or facts about him that is directly stated in the text that you can base an inference off of. Well, he likes his clothes on the ground. He likes to have cups everywhere. Something like that. All right? Yes. Did you have a question? No? Okay. All right. Looks like you raised your hand for a second. All right. So now, we're going to start reading, okay? So those who weren't here can kind of know what we're reading about. Again, we're reading How to Trick Your Sister. All All right, so I will start, and here's the deal. I'm going to stop and ask questions as we read, okay? This will help you understand the text a little bit more. All right, are we ready? All right, let's start. So, how to trick your sister. The plan was perfect. Rick had been working on it all week in math class, English class, and history class. He sat in the back of the room, deep in thought. To the teacher, it looked like he was taking notes. In fact, he was taking notes, but not on algebra, To Kill a Mockingbird, or the Spanish-American War. Rick was a schemer, and now he had dreamed up the greatest scheme of his career. Number 17. Can you tell me what schemer might mean? Or scheme? What does that mean? Number 17. Are you 17?
Yeah, like a trick.
Like a trick or a trickster, right? Yeah, he's coming up with his evil plan, right? Very good, a trick. Very good. All right. He was going to ruin his sister's birthday party. Number 13. Why did Rick want to ruin his sister's birthday party? Number 13. Do we know?
Because he's boring.
Well, why don't you take a guess? Why do you think he wants to ruin his sister's birthday party?
Because she's easy to, like, trick.
Yeah, she might be easy to trick, right? Okay, so that's a good guess. Anybody else maybe want to add really quick? Noah?
Because it was to be the perfect opportunity to get her in front of everyone.
Yeah.
It's only once a year. It's kind of like a rare opportunity.
That's a good guess too. Her birthday is once a year, so this could be a really good opportunity to maybe embarrass her in front of everyone, right? All right, let's keep going. Rick didn't have anything against Emily. She was a nice enough sister. She helped him do the dishes. She kept out of his room, and on long car trips, she let him sleep when he wanted to sleep. But Rick loved playing tricks, and when it came to tricks, there was no better target than Emily. She liked her life to be orderly. She liked everything in its place. When she was taking notes in school, she used 9 different pens, all different colors, in an organizational scheme so complex it would take FBI scientists weeks to decode it. Rick was not like that at all. He was a messy kid. He liked his bedroom to be covered in dirty clothes and crumpled up paper. He liked his music loud and his fireworks louder. And surprises were his favorite thing in the world. All right, so before we move on, number 20. How would you compare the lives of Rick and Emily using textual evidence? Number 20.
Emily was kind of like an organizational person, and she always looked at everything neat and stuff. And
Make sure you use your textual evidence too. You can read off the text, it's okay.
and it said Emily liked everything in its place, and when she was taking notes in school, she was kind of different pens on different colors, and then organizational scheme.
Very good. So what about Rick?
And then Rick, he was a messy kid, and he never really had anything organized, and he had things everywhere. And it said, Rick was a messy kid. He liked his bedroom to be covered in dirty clothes and crumpled up paper.
Very good, very good. All right, one more question. Number 8. Actually, no, not a question. I lied, I'm sorry. So I just want to show you guys something. This kind of reminds me, how many of you have brothers or sisters? Okay, quite a few. I have a couple brothers and sisters myself, and this kind of reminds me of us a little bit. I like to call myself the neat, tidy one because I don't like things out of its place. But every time I walk into my sister's bedroom or my brother's bedroom, they just have dirty laundry everywhere. And then they have like cups, like Starbucks cups, just everywhere. And they were like used and nasty. Do what?
I know your brothers.
Oh, you do? Yeah, he's a little messy. But he's a cutie, so it's okay. But yeah, it kind of reminds me of me and my sister and brothers. So I want you to think about your brother and sister too, because this could be the same thing. All right? Let's move on. Page 2. All right? The notebook he used in the back of his math class didn't say math on it. It said Surprises, top secret, do not open. In it were the records of every trick he ever played. There was the time that he made his sister think all her dolls had moved away. There was the time he hid in Dad's car keys and made him 2 hours late for work. And there was his I'm losing my words, I'm sorry. And there was his last great accomplishment. The time he disconnected the oven and made his mom think that Thanksgiving dinner would never be finished. Has anyone else ever played a trick on their friends or family like this before? Like how Rick did? Raise your hand if you have. Oh, you tricksters, you little schemers. You little schemers. Someone give me a quick example of what they did. Really quick, raise your hand. Emily, really quick.
So, my brother, he's like really like neat and tiny and stuff like that. And he's like really obsessed with like special Lego sets. And I had one of his Lego sets for like a month.
Oh my gosh. Did he ever find it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she hid a Lego set from her, was it brother or sister?
Brother.
Brother for a month. How crazy is that? Okay, well let's move on, okay? You can tell me your stories at the end of the lesson, but we just kind of have to move on really quick. Okay, so hold on to them for me. All right, the last trick. The last trick would be hard for most kids, but Rick, though, he never did great in school, was smart with his hands. His father was a mechanic and had shown him all sorts of neat things he could do with machines. Rick could fix washing machines, dishwashers, showers, and garage door openers. He could also, when it suited him, disconnect them completely. I'm a mechanical wizard, he wrote in his notebook. No, a genius. Better yet, an evil genius. So, number 19, why does Rick call himself these things? Number 19. Why does Rick call himself these things?
He learned how to do stuff from his dad, like how to lift stuff.
Great use of textual evidence. He said he learned how to do things with his dad with his hands. His dad taught him all of these mechanical things, so that's why he says he's an evil genius. Very good, very good. All right, this was going to be his greatest triumph. All he needed was a remote control, a few bits of radio equipment, and 24 small fireworks. If there were a Nobel Prize for evil, he thought he would win it for sure. The night before her party, Emily couldn't sleep. It was always like that when she was excited. She kept playing the party over in her mind. All the girls from her class were coming, and everyone was going to have a wonderful time. With her mother's help, Emily had planned everything down to the last detail. She had filled a binder with plans for games they would play, stories she would tell, and outfits she might wear. She had settled on a pale green dress with matching sandals. It was a simple outfit, but that was perfect. She didn't want anyone to know how much she was looking forward to this. So, it seems like Emily wants her party to be perfect, right? She wants everything to go on without any problems, right? Do what?
I said, don't we all?
Yeah, you were right. Don't we all? We want everything to go perfect, but sometimes that just doesn't happen. So, here's the thing. Why wouldn't she want anyone to know that she was looking forward to her party? Number 2, answer that question for me.
No, she didn't want anyone to know she was looking forward to her party because since her brother is a trickster and she knows that he's pulling fun tricks,
Okay,
she
yeah.
doesn't want him to ruin the party.
Yeah, so that's a really good guess. Her brother is a trickster, so she's kind of scared maybe her brother's gonna start something and she wants everything again to go off without a hitch, right? She wants everything to be perfect. Does anyone else have a guess they'd like to add? Noah.
Well, she said it was kind of simple because, like, I think that she doesn't want to make it seem like she doesn't really have birthdays usually, and she's used to having a lot of friends over and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
It says in there that she's, like, kind of shy in school, and, like, she doesn't really talk to most people.
Okay, yeah, so maybe she doesn't want to draw attention to herself, right? That was a really good guess. Good job. All right, let's keep going. The girls at school were nice to Emily, but there were none who would call her their friend. She was a shy person. In class, she always knew the answer, but never raised her hand. When she was with the other girls, she was like that too. Even when she knew the right thing to say, her mouth would freeze. She couldn't say it. At night, she would torture herself with the knowledge that she was charming and smart. She just didn't know how to make that side of her come out. So, does anyone else experience this? Where you want to say something, but it doesn't come out because you're a little maybe nervous or shy. Has anyone experienced this? Alan, have you experienced it? Good. I won't make you tell me details because, you know, it's nervous, right? It's not good. But, okay, I know I experienced the same thing too. So when you couldn't get anything out, what was going on in your mind, baby? That was like not letting you get it out. If you want to share it, you don't have to. You don't want to? Okay, then never mind. I'll tell you what mine was like though. When I go through this, sometimes I'm like really confident, I'm ready to say what I'm going to say, but then I kind of choke up, right? I stop and I'm like, never mind, right? Yeah. Sometimes nerves just take over us a little bit, and we gotta really work ourselves up to be able to get those words out. All right, it just takes a lot of practice, and you just have to get past a mental block to do it. But I've experienced it multiple times, and I'm sure a lot of you have too, right? Yeah? All right, let's keep going. Perhaps it would happen at her party. Perhaps she would emerge from her shell like a very organized butterfly. Perhaps at school the next week she should have friends. So what do we think emerge from her shell means? Number 14. Number 14. Did I give a 14 out? I think I did. Who's number 14? Anybody? Maya, are you number 14, baby?
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't you tell me, what do you think emerge from her shell means? What do you think that means to you? She emerges from her shell. You want to take a guess? No? All right, I'm going to draw number 3.
It means like she's open-minded.
What did you say?
Open-minded.
Open-minded. Okay, yeah, she could be open-minded when going out of her comfort zone, right? Does anybody else have something that you want to add? Yes? Trying to be more confident. Yeah, she's coming out of her comfort zone, okay? She's building up that confidence to maybe make some friends at her party. All right. If the party didn't work, it certainly wouldn't be her fault. This would be the finest birthday party of the season. The napkins would be colorful, the games would be fresh and exciting, and the cupcakes would be out of this world. Are you sure you want cupcakes? Her mother asked. Maybe I'm old-fashioned, but I don't see what's wrong with a nice ordinary caramel cake. I'll make you one myself. I know you will, Mom, said Emily. You've made one for me every year since I was born. Caramel cakes are delicious, but they're boring. Cupcakes are popular. Cupcakes are fun. So why do we think Emily chooses the cupcakes? Based off what we said earlier, number 23. Who's 23? Number 23.
No.
Devin.
Devin Hart.
Here, why don't you take a crack at it? Why do you think she chooses cupcakes instead of the caramel cake?
Maybe because she thinks that her friends will most definitely like cupcakes more than cake.
Yeah, so maybe it's to kind of get her friends to essentially like her a bit more, you know, because cupcakes are popular. She knows everyone else likes them. So she's decided to choose the cupcakes to help her out, right? Very good. Let's keep going. Her mom agreed. They would have cupcakes, 24 of them in every color of the frosting rainbow. To keep Rick away from them, her mother had placed them under lock and key. She had arranged for his friend Andy to come over during the party. They would be in the basement playing video games the entire afternoon. Emily didn't think it was possible for Rick to ruin her party if he wasn't allowed out of the basement. She hadn't counted on the remote control. Rick was proud of his handiwork. Each firework was attached to a tiny remote detonator the size of a pea. He stashed them in the back of the pantry the morning of the party before his mother made him go into the basement to hang out with Andy. So, What is Rick going to do with the fireworks? Number 18. Number 18. All right, Nora.
He's gonna blow them up inside the cupcakes.
Yeah, he's gonna blow up those cupcakes, right? And try to make a big old mess everywhere. So we just figured out his scheme, right? Not very fun. I don't know anybody who would want cupcakes blown up at their party, unless it was like on purpose, you know, like maybe some of those exploding cakes. Have you guys seen those? No? I've seen them on TikTok. There's a few cakes out there. They like explode and it's supposed to be like a prize or something comes out of them. But in this case, it's not. All right, let's keep going. You two just stay down here until all the girls have gone home, his mom said. I don't want you doing anything that might upset your sister. I promise I won't come through that door until the party is over, said Rick. His mom didn't understand why he was smiling. All right, so why would Rick be smiling, number 21?
Because maybe he found like a loophole that he could get out of the basement.
Exactly. He probably found a loophole, right, to get out of the basement to destroy this party, right? Right? Yeah, very good guess. All right. In the basement, Mom had laid out a platter of sandwiches, soda, and cookies for Rick and Andy. But Rick was too excited to eat. From upstairs, he heard the telltale signs of a girl's birthday party. Screaming, squealing, and laughter loud enough to shatter a window. It sounds like they're having a lot of fun up there, said Andy, who wished he could be part of the party. Not for long, said Rick. Hand me that stepladder. He had promised his mother that he wouldn't come through the door. He was just going to keep that promise. There was a small window on the far side of the basement, just big enough for him to crawl through. Look at that. There's that loophole that you were talking about, right? Yeah. All right. With Andy holding the ladder, Rick unlatched the window, squirmed through the frame, and crawled into the backyard. Wait here, said Rick. Don't close the window. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Can I play FIFA? Asked Andy. You can play whatever you want. Just don't close this window. He army crawled around the house to the door that led into the kitchen. Through the window, he saw his mother arranging the cupcakes on a tray. It was nearly time to strike. What's another way of saying it was nearly time to strike? Number 6. What's another way? He's about to do the plan, right? He's about to conduct his little scheme. Remember that word, scheme. Yes. He's about to take action, right? Stuff is about to go down. All right, let's keep going. In Rick's family, the tradition was to sing happy birthday while the cake was still in the kitchen. Only when the song was over, Mom would bring out the cupcakes, candles lit, and frosting shimmering. This was Rick's opportunity. Mom went into the dining room, and the singing started. Moving quickly but silently, Rick opened the kitchen door and went to work, nestling a tiny firework in the bottom of each cupcake. He resisted the urge to eat one of the little cakes. So there was our answer to our first question is, what is he going to do with the fireworks, right? He put them behind or at the bottom of the cupcakes, right? Exactly. This was no time to goof around. By the time the song had finished, the cakes appeared undisturbed and Rick had disappeared. So, what does the author mean by this was no time to goof around? Number 22.
Like, by no time you goof around, like, he has to be, like, serious and not, like,
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, like he can't be tempted to eat the cakes. He's got to be serious. He's got to put his game face on, right? It's go time. He's got to conduct this plan, or maybe if he messes around, his plan that might get messed up and not go through, right? Very good, very good. All right, girls, said Mom. Here we go. Cupcakes just like I promised. I want the green one, said Rachel McCown. I want the red one, said Angela Beck. I want the pink one and the yellow one and the blue one and the rainbow one, said Mary Cookan, who really loved cupcakes. Hold on, said Mom. There's plenty for everybody, but the one with the rainbow is for Emily. Thanks, Mom, said Emily as she placed the cupcake on the plate. These look awesome, said Angela. Totally, said Rachel. I want to eat them all, said Mary. Can I eat all of them? This is perfect, Mom. said, Emily, thanks so much. So the cupcakes were a hit, right?
Yeah.
Everyone seems to love them. So this kind of goes back to where we said our cupcakes are very popular, and maybe that's the reason why Emily chose the cupcakes, right? Because everybody likes them. It was a hit, all right? All right, and it was perfect. Everyone from school was here, and they were all having a great time. Emily had been funny. She had been fun. This is the best party any of my friends have ever thrown, Rachel had told her. No one at school had ever called her friend before. The party had gone wonderfully, and Rick couldn't spoil it now. So look, now she's made friends. They're calling her friend, right? So again, that goes back to our cupcakes helping us out a bit. All right, girls, said Mom, dig in. And that was when the explosion started. 24 little pops, like hail falling on a tin roof, went off, one after the other. When the girls' ears stopped ringing, there was smoke in the air and icing covering every surface. Pink icing on the table, green icing on the ceiling, and rainbow icing all over Emily's green dress. After a moment, the silence was broken. Emily started to cry. Why are their ears ringing? Number 12. Why are their ears ringing? Yes. The fireworks were really loud, right? How many of you have been near a really loud firework and after it went off, you heard a little ringing in your ear? Yeah, it's not very fun, right? I mean, the fireworks are fun, but the after effect, yeah. Well, quick little story. I used to be in color guard over at the U of A over there, and the year before COVID happened, we were on the field, and they put fireworks on the field behind us, and literally my spot was right in front of the little detonator. So when the fireworks went off, my ears were ringing on the field. I couldn't even hear the music anymore. And so, in case you don't know what color guard is, it's the